Rocky Hill Accountants offers a unique, low-pressure approach to professional and personal services, which is why they have an excellent client retention rate and are extremely proud of the high-quality services that their firm provides. The executive team at Rocky Hill Accountants has over 35 years of combined experience in income tax preparation, bookkeeping, accounting, and IT crypto tax. They specialize in individual income tax preparation, as well as trusts, estates, and gift tax returns. The tax deadline for individuals is May 17th. If you're one of the 50 million Americans who still hasn't filed, visit RockyHillAccountants.com.
On this week's show of Speaking It Real, we're discussing mask mandates, firearm safety, deportation, Memorial Day, and so much more. Come join Frank and Carlos as they discuss all the hot topics of this week. The show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody.
Well, that was a little different. I was expecting the whole flying comet thing through the city and, maybe some explosions and stuff. But that's all good.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I liked it. I got caught off a little bit off.
I mean, I'm down with Zach in that whole intro, though. I like the countdown, but then I expected that whole Saturday Night Live explosion. And the whole,
Yeah.
I was all right. No flare today. That's fine.
Carlos, how's your Friday been so far, man?
Well, compared to last Friday, this Friday's been all right. I mean, I worked and I walked around the block with my daughter. And so, it's been nonstop since I woke up. So I'm pretty tired. I've got my traditional Muggo coffee here because I need coffee at 9:00 at night. But, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be back. I was supposed to take a breather and the universe shat on me and said, hell no.
It happens, man.
I'm about to wreck your weekend.
For sure. Look, one thing, guys, everybody out there, as we know, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Celebrate it how you celebrate it. But remember why we're having this weekend. At the bottom of our screen, you're going to see a ticker. Gives you a list of soldiers that have made the ultimate sacrifice for us to live in this world, do what we do. Later on the show, we're going to have Olvi Muniz from the Hard Hitting Wrestling Show, which is a veteran, and myself. And Carlos will probably start asking us some questions, given the fact that I was in the
I'm the curious one. I'm the curious permanent civilian who never went through the process. I almost joined the Air Force, but never happened. It didn't materialize.
Right. So, we will be speaking about Memorial Day, and we'll take it from there. But let's go ahead and get this show rolling. How do I go, man? Mask politics.
Well, oh, man.
Our wonderful COVID stuff.
Wow. So things have been off in Florida, but now they're officially coming off, and it's a party now. I don't know how things are down in the dirty South, but out here, man, people are just like, it's over. Just today, especially, like certain districts said no more or optional. I mean, I think it's still a business decision, but I mean, everywhere I'm going, man, it's all about personal choice at this point. Some people are still wearing them. A lot of people are not, and no one's saying a damn thing about it to anybody. It's like, all right, this is how we're going to roll going forward. Well, and I love it. I got my second shot last Friday. Right. And I immediately, like, I was cheering, hooting, and hollering at Publix. I was like, hell yeah. Taking this damn thing off. I'm setting it on fire. And I've been loving it ever since. Business decision as well, and the numbers were low. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's it.
Well, I'll tell you, Florida has it like that also. It's been more of a business decision. We actually have had it. I think it's just based on the business.
Some places were worse than others, though. I heard stories from Miami where like people were still pretty strict about it, versus here where it wasn't so bad unless maybe you got into Tampa. But yeah, Florida's been pretty lax, and now it's it's even more lax. I mean, I think the snowbirds are coming down now, even though they normally don't. But now that things are really open, the place is still crowded. So. Yeah, man, it's good though. I'm happy as hell. As soon as I got that shot, I was like, great, yes. And then, of course, somewhere by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I was suddenly like, yes, shit. Got my ass kicked.
I really didn't have effects. I got the shot the first time. I was fine.
Yeah, the first time it was just sore. Like I decided to work out one shoulder. Like that was my goal. Today I'm gonna wreck this arm, and that's exactly how it felt.
Right, and then I did the second one, and I'll be real honest, I wasn't in pain.
Oh, good for you, man.
I was sore.
Yeah. Which one did you take?
Pfizer.
All right.
Yeah, I did the Pfizer. And I would have thought that I would have had some effects, but I didn't have any.
Yeah, no, it got everybody differently. It got I know. So like Friday, all my issues started Thursday. So as we had planned, I wasn't going to be on Friday, and I'm thinking, all right, I get to go home, just play with the girls, kind of just relax and catch up on real estate and just other stuff, and not worry about the show. Frank will be good.
Yeah, I was good.
Nah.
Well, let me tell you something about.
Well, you go first. Tell me about the show, man. I mean, give me your synopsis.
What happened? I'm gonna tell you how this happened.
Oh, it's this.
Yeah,
There's an event.
Yeah, really. I went on and I'm on the way home.
Okay.
And
I'm already getting feedback.
Yeah. It was crazy. I was on the way home, and Carlos, you know what? Let's say your story for a second. I gotta grab my thoughts a minute.
It seems like you were traumatized by what happened last Friday.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the universe is cruel, man. It's evil. So last week, I'm sure you noticed, like, our crypto earnings began to tank. Like last week was a bad week. And so I saw it. I saw it happening, and I sold. I sold all my crypto. I just sold everything and sat on it. And then I bought back in when it dipped, and I said, all right, just hang on to some of the profits. Put it in your savings or, invest it later, whatever. Just keep some of the money. So I did. And I'm, I'm enjoying my riches, my 4-figure riches. And, but it was nice to have, right? And it lasted a total of like 2 days. So Thursday, I'm driving home, and I had a Kia Soul, and Kia. I don't know if you own a Kia Soul, it's always got this little rattle. It's always had it. So I paid no mind to it. But I'm driving toward the Skyway, and that rattle just starts to get louder and louder and louder, and I'm like, my engine's about to pop, and I'm like going up a 180-foot bridge. This is going to be awesome. So on the incline, man, sure enough, I hear bah, and I look back, and there's just smoke coming out of like the car, and I'm like, oof. I made it over the bridge though, and pulled over. Sure enough, man, engine's dead. So all of a sudden, my winnings is now a down payment. Like, I got to get a new car. This sucks, but you have to be thankful that the money was there for you. So two sides of the same, of the coin. But then, so Friday, I get my second shot, and I'm all happy, and I'm like ready to toss my mask. But by Friday night, man, I was like, okay, I'm beginning to feel it. I felt heavy, went to bed. I started shivering. I'm like, all right, that wasn't really that bad though. I mean, yeah, I expected to get a little fever. I got it. I was cold. No big deal. I slept like a baby, like I usually do whenever I'm sick. Saturday though was rough. I showed a house that day, but I was in pain from head to toe. Like I was just one giant mass of soreness. Like I hurt everywhere. And I'm trying to smile and show a house to people. And I was like, yeah, this is rough. So what was supposed to be a relaxing weekend turned into just pure hell. I mean, we were on one car. So I'm like speeding all over 2 counties to work, to pick this up, to pick up business cards, get a shot, come back and pick up the kids from school. It was nuts. No relaxing for Carlos and no money either. So here I am. That was my Friday, man.
Well, my Friday started out great. I was at work,
I got Moderna, Catherine.
So I'm on my way home and I get that phone call.
That phone call. All right, look, we've used this and that. I mean, this.
Yeah, so I get that phone call.
That phone call.
Pa is my son calling me dad. Pa.
Okay.
He doesn't call me dad. He calls me Pa. He goes, Pa. I'm like, yeah. He goes, what time? Uh-oh, is my mic not working right?
No, it's a little better now. Maybe turn up the gain.
Yeah. So he tells me, he goes, Pa, what time are you getting home? And I'm like, well, I'm already on the way home,
All right.
And I'm like, why? What's up? He goes, well, I think I hurt myself.
Oh,
I'm like, okay.
That's okay.
No problem. So I FaceTime him and I see his foot. His foot's freaking.
It's like a football.
Yeah. I'm like, all right. So I call Zach. Hey, Zach, we might cancel the show. My brother was supposed to be on the show also. And I called him and I said, hey, we might cancel the show. Let me get home and see what's going on with my son. So I get home. And I'm like, all right, we got to go to the ER. This is 7 o'clock. Take him to the ER. And I just canceled the show. It's 8:45 and we're released. And he broke his foot, by the way.
Oh, it broke. Oh,
right, yeah, he fractured it. He has a nice fracture, yes.
I mean, yeah, if it's going to look like a football, I'm pretty sure it's a fracture.
So I'm on the way home, and I start calling my brother. Hey, we're going to do the show. You still on? He goes, nope. I made other plans. I was like, all right. I call Zach. Hey, Zach, are you around so we could do the show? I'm on the way to a bonfire. Shit. All right, no big deal. And Kimberly Chapman, which we're going to bring her on real quick because she has a question for you.
Okay.
But then Kimberly.
What's up, Kimmy?
Hey.
Hold on, I got to hear about Frank's action-packed evening. Go
Kimberly
on.
sends me a message, and she's like, hey, I could help you out. I was like, all right, perfect. I'll get home in a couple of minutes. I'll send you a link and we'll do a show.
Okay.
And that's how it happened.
Hey, that's hustle, brother. That's hustle. I got to give you props, man. That's determination.
Yep.
You're like, God damn it, the show must go on.
Yeah, throughout the show, Kimberly and I were going back and forth. We had pretty good discussions. She did say that she had a question for you. So we'll bring her on, ask her a question, and we'll just keep going on with the show. And
so wait, this question is like 7 days in the making.
Yes.
So yeah, it's got to be small. I'm sure it's insignificant. No big deal.
I was sworn to secrecy, so I couldn't say anything.
Wow. No pressure. Well, before we get into the question, Kimmy, since you are on, how was your week and how are you?
It's been interesting, needless to say. I think because Mercury is gone into retrograde.
Oh, everybody gets screwed when Mercury goes into retrograde. Look, I mean, when did that start?
This week.
This week?
It's gone for 6 weeks, yeah.
See, my car goes to hell. I get sick. I lose money. Frank's kid blows his ankle. I mean, Mercury's in retrograde. That's awesome. I think that explains quite a bit. All right. I feel better now. I now feel that my screwed up Friday and Saturday was not selected just for me. No, it's widespread screwness for everybody. So I'm good. I'm good. I don't feel so special anymore. Awesome.
But other than that, it's been interesting.
Okay.
Needless to say. And I was just on, I know you guys know of Clubhouse.
Right, yeah.
No. What is Clubhouse?
Oh, it's like a new trend between Twitter and another platform of podcasting in a different way.
Okay.
And I happened to be invited. I forget how I met this person, honestly, but we connected.
Okay.
And he's a UFO. He studies ufology. He's a ufologist.
A UFO specialist.
And investigator.
Okay.
And he had a pilot show that was coming up with several panelists on his show.
All right.
And I don't know if you know of them. Linda Moulton Howe.
No.
Billy Carson.
No, I honestly, I'm not well versed in the UFO field. I mean, obviously I understand the concept, but as far as people, no.
Okay, but you know about the disclosure.
Fill me in.
Okay.
I mean, I've been hearing a lot of stories lately. Like all of a sudden UFO news is like kind of becoming the norm, which is like crazy considering we grew up in a world where it was always treated as conspiracy tinfoil nonsense. And now every other day it's like, oh, more footage of fast UFOs around Navy ships and stuff like that. I'm like, and the funny thing is we're all quiet about it. Like, okay, it's actually being reported by major media, and yet the world's not taking a shit about this. I'm confused, but okay. So
not that they're confused, but this has been going on since Roswell.
Right.
I was like in 1947, if I.
Right. No. Yeah.
Right.
So, but there was a bill passed. You know that stimulus package. You know, that was in the bill.
Which one? There's like 6 of them now.
So what's our question?
So there is something towards the end of this bill that talked about a disclosure in regards to advanced aerial threat from foreign ambassadors.
Okay.
And what it's saying is, and I just got done with a gentleman, Roderick Martin, who is the UFO investigator. He's in MUFON, and he studies ufology.
Right.
And with him and Linda and Billy, they were all talking about the disclosure because they have next month to disclose all the files, all the data. And when I had Roderick on the show, it has to deal with the government and all the military.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Because they're not collaborating with the new, I'm pretty sure you've heard of what is it? Shit, I forgot. The disclosure with the Space Force that has been everybody in the military, based on the talk that I had with Roderick, is not working with the Space Force to give them the information so they could study more about what's been going on with these sightings.
So bureaucracies are purposefully not communicating with each other.
Okay, but I have an idea.
That sounds like typical government. That's what they love to do.
I have an idea. How about we bring this up next week on our show? You know, a little bit more. I mean, we do have a packed show today. So,
but wait. What was the question though?
Well, I wanted to know what your input was on it. What did you hear about? Because with the government and everything.
Okay. I'm going to have to look into it. I have noticed an uptick in UFO stories, which I find fascinating, interesting, and terrifying. And I think what I find even more fascinating is that nobody seems to care. I'm like, you know, it's like everyone's asleep, and that's kind of frightening too. But I have my own theories on why that's happening. But you would figure any kind of news that even remotely confirms UFO type, you know, activity would send people into some kind of panic or overt concern or something. But no, we're all just yelling like Friday.
I beg to differ. I believe that some of them are like, oh, what else is new? We've known about this. We're not surprised.
Right, we've known about it, but it's always been treated with skepticism. I think major media now actually reporting on it with like what appears to be more comfort and confidence should be an eye opener. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes. But hey, if you don't mind, so we can be a little more like well informed, shoot Frank any information regarding this disclosure, and I'll be happy to check it out, and we can break it down real good next week.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Kim. Thank you for coming
Good
on.
seeing you again.
You know, we're gonna move on.
Me.
Always. You're a gem on the show. We love you.
Bye. So, anyways, what were we? I think actually, let's go. I lost military experience. Here we go. All right, so we have Obi Mooney's, being the fact that it is Memorial Day.
Oh,
Sir.
What's going on, everybody?
all right. The Boricua has arrived.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
How you doing?
Good.
I
Good.
see.
chilling.
We're talking about UFOs and stuff like that. I'm like,
For
hey,
real.
how
For
did
real. But,
speaking
you know,
of real go to that direction?
Bro, speaking it real goes everywhere. That's the beauty of the show. That's the beauty. But for real though, listen, it's funny that I do find it ironic that Kim came on with that question because I think it was today or yesterday. I don't know if it was CNN or Fox or both of them, but straight up just articles like literally talking about Navy officers showing video footage, commenting on ships that are flying around them that were flying at incredibly fast rates and stuff. And I'm like, this is like news now. Like, okay.
Yeah, we
All
ran
right.
out of news. Whether it's the pandemic, whether it's the war on the other side of the world.
No,
we got to come up with something fresh, man.
Everybody wanted things to go back to normal, and now that they are, we don't care anymore. That's it. Missiles are flying again. Life is good.
Listen, life has I've been taken afar, maybe that's not the right word, but or by surprise, the amount of gun violence that I've seen just within the past couple weeks.
I called it. Remember?
But it's ridiculous.
There's a lot of violence going on, man, especially like in every state. There are a lot of crime rates going high, and that's all you hear in the local news, especially here in the state of Connecticut, that there's always a body found, shootings in one street, shootings somewhere else. So, there's so much going on. Yeah.
You got a lot of factors going into that. I told you that, like, people being stuck at home as long as they were, I mean, how does that phrase go? Idle hands is the devil's playground, man. And you got people stuck around for so long, especially if they already had mental health issues, for example. You send them out into the wild after a year, man, they're going to go nuts, and things are happening. Then you got a bunch of cities that are treating their cops like crap. I mean, we touched base on this a couple weeks ago, Frank. You have police officers retiring. They're cashing in their pensions. You have a lot of police departments that are short. So calls are taking longer to be responded to. I mean, this is a natural consequence when you run your mouth about the cops the way these politicians have. And that's just a part of it. But all that, you mix that potaje real good, and there you have it. Crime and murder increase, especially in big cities. I think I saw somewhere where Portland alone was like an 800% increase. 800%.
That's too much. Way too much. But
go ahead, defund the police. Dale.
Hey, you said it, man. That was my next line. Well, you want to defund the police and you want to do this.
Police. Go for
now,
it.
I am.
And vote the idiots who want to do it in there. Just keep it up, man.
I do agree of adding more resources to the police department. I do agree with that. But when you start saying that we're going to defund the police, what are you really defunding? Honestly, what are you trying to resolve by defunding the police?
Your guess is as good as mine, because whatever it is you're trying to resolve, it ain't happening.
Oh. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Defunding the police is obviously not the answer. I mean,
no.
You're not gonna get nothing with that. Now, do we have to make things different? Yeah. Do we have to give them more resources? Can things be changed around? Yes.
Absolutely.
And I think it's what we had Larry Fortella on a couple weeks ago.
Great show, man. That was good.
Yeah, and he, one of the things that he was saying was that it's training. You gotta have, he's into concurrent training on a regular basis.
And that's fine.
Something that a lot of departments lack, especially like the smaller departments lack, that extra training.
Right. And just like in the military, just like anywhere else, is that the world changes and we all have to adapt to it. We can't just always stick around and do the traditional stuff. Like we used to do this or we used to do that when I did this and did that. There's no longer. What's going on today that's going to help you in the future, and a lot of voices are being heard and there's a lot of publicity at everything we do. But we knew that going on a decade ago that every little step you make, people are going to make a lot of comments about you. It's social media era, man. So, and everybody's a news reporter. You know what I mean? So, and I like it when it's like, well, we got to look at the real footage before, we look, hey, man, but we already saw the footage. You know what I mean? We got to look at it. We got to look at the other angle.
You saw your 5 seconds.
But hey, guys, man, I appreciate you guys having me on your show, man. Like I'm one of your biggest fans and stuff, and I'm glad you guys are launching for success. So you guys got to keep up the good work, man.
Thank you. Well, I do gotta owe you credit, in the sense that if you didn't bring me into your show, the HHW Hard Hitting Wrestling Show, I don't think I will be here. So I mean, part of or majority of the credit on this is that you brought me into this wonderful world.
So I guess, Ovi, while Frank thanks you for that, I guess I'm going to blame you.
Oh, wow. This a no win, no lose situation.
No, at all.
That's the beauty of the show, right?
But hey, look, you know what? One of the biggest reasons, that we actually did bring Ovi into the show today is, and it's Memorial Weekend. Everybody has a different thought of what Memorial Day is. Some people saw it as, hey, it's the beginning of summer. I get to go to the beach. I get to barbecue. Some people are just like, it's another day. Some people think it's Veterans Day.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't distinguish themselves. A lot of people at work, they know that I'm in the military. Or I'm retired from the military. And even when they say, hey, man, thank you for serving and everything else, they really don't really understand what Memorial Day is. And I hear a lot of people, you're right, people are ready to go barbecuing. People want to, go to the beach. This is the era where summer's supposed to start for most places, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of schools are over down south. Up north, we got a couple more weeks before school is out, and then we're getting set for the summer, and all is forgotten, right? And what we forget is that there are a lot of men and women that serve in our military that sacrifice their lives so that myself, you, and everybody else can have a voice, right? We have a freedom to live in this country, and not other countries do what we do, and we forget the value of what it is to live in the United States of America, and when I look at back this, it's not about celebration for me. And Frank and I lost a close friend that you see his name listed below, and that's Sergeant Crockett. Sergeant Crockett and I went back before we became non-commissioned officers. So those that don't know what that is before we became leaders, we were studying to become leaders. And me and him, we were stationed in Bosnia together. Actually, not stationed. We were deployed to Bosnia during the Balkans issues and stuff. And, we grew together, and yeah, we all went our separate ways because in our career paths we go to different places, and my heart broke, man. And I found out on CNN website that my friend passed away, and I was a year late. Okay, me and him, I didn't know that we were deployed in the same area. Matter of fact, we were in Balad, and in Balad, Iraq is the centerpiece of the Triangular of Death. All right, so all the actions happened where we were located, and I remember a situation happened. It was a wake up call, right? So 2 months into the country, and I'm like, man, we're just like driving around like nothing's happening. And in that one moment when we're getting motored, all right, so whether we're getting rockets, incoming rounds and everything else, and once that's when reality hit. And it's just sad that I found out a year later that, oh my God, my friend who was in the same city as I was, and I didn't know it was him that had passed away, that he got killed by getting hit by an RPG. And then the list goes on. I know so many people that have sacrificed their lives, and they do heroic, how you say it, heroic actions that allow somebody else to live. And I am grateful for all the men and women that I've served with. Not because I retired and everything else, but even if I did 1 year, 2 years, it doesn't matter. That's our brotherhood, and it's sad because they not only that they sacrifice themselves, but their families too. So at this time and age right now, there are kids that grew up without a father, and they're always going to know that their father or their mom was a hero. But there's always going to be that what ifs and stuff like that. So this weekend to me, I'm thinking about them. I'm always thinking about them. I'm always thinking about the guys that were able to help my career, that helped me succeed. And it was because of them. And this Sunday, I'm also part of the VFW here in New Britain, Connecticut. That Sunday we're going to do Wreaths of America, where we're going to plant wreaths to our fallen soldiers, whether in Vietnam War, World War II veterans, all the people that were in action. We're going to do that this weekend. And then also the city is also doing a parade on Memorial Day, something that we haven't done in 3 years. 2 of them being the weather issue, and of course we had to deal with the pandemic. So there's a lot of patriotism going on, but we should never forget the reason why it's called Memorial Day. It's not a happy Memorial Day. It's not beach-like. It's not. But hey, we live and we enjoy our country because that's our way of life. But we can never forget those that were fallen.
Correct. We're gonna go into a commercial real quick, and then I'll come back with a story of how I knew Sergeant Crockett. So,
all right.
Wow. How do I put it, man? I have a hard time talking about Crockett. And a lot of my issues with that is the fact that I met Crockett in basic training. We went to basic training together, and we weren't battle buddies, but pretty much we slept right next to each other on different bunks, obviously. You know, my battle buddy was on the left, Crockett was on my right. You know, so Crockett and I spent a lot of time together throughout basic training. And for those that don't know, especially when you're in the infantry, it's a normal basic training, if I remember correctly, is what, about 3 months, about 12 weeks. When you do your, what was it, OSAT, 1 unit station training, I think it was, for the infantry. It's your basic training is you do your basic training and then you do your job training. You know, so Crockett and I spent from October 30th that I met him to, I want to say it was probably March that I arrived at Fort Hood, something like that, February, March. You know, this was back from 96 I went in, 97 we got there. So we spent a lot of time together. And a lot of the things that he said to me was more of, hey, I'm going to make it. I got to do this. And he was very strong-minded. I could, you know, and when we got to Fort Hood, we were in the same unit. We're different platoons. But when he found out that he was going to be a dad, let me tell you something. That guy went hella crazy happy. And he was, I'm going to be the best dad that I could be. He's like, Cuesta, I'm going to be a dad. I'm going to be a dad. And I was so happy for him. You know, and I left the military. You know, I did my time. I went on. I always kept in touch with Ovi for some reason. You know, he was just that bad habit, I guess. I don't know. I just always kept on coming back.
And he kept in touch with you. That's what's scary.
Yeah.
Come on now.
And
go on, Frank.
when
I got a story for that one, but go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, when Ovi came to me and just told me about Crockett, there was this sadness, and to this day I have a hard time even just talking about it, and I don't like to think about it. I don't like to talk about it because a lot of me is like, you know, my friends that stayed, you know, majority of my friends that stayed in, you know, went to Iraq. You know, most of them came back except for Crockett. And I always tell myself, you know, like, damn. Not that it should have been me, but maybe I could have helped him. Maybe, you know, maybe I could have been there. You know, and that sucks. Even though I got out years before he died. You know, so it's rough. You know, and if you look at my Jeep is a remembrance of fallen soldiers, though. You know, but that's another story. But that's my story about Crockett. You know, he was a man's man. Very straightforward, though.
Yeah, he was. And his goal was, when I started to get to know him, once we became non-commissioned officers, his goal, he wanted to be a drill sergeant.
Yes.
And he did everything. Now, there was one moment, and again, he went to the promotion board before me. So I kind of like followed him. And he passed, but then he had to do it again because he went to school and he failed land navigation. Right? And our senior leaders, they were heated, right? Like, what infantryman goes there and fails, right? And that put a lot of pressure on me because it was my turn to go to school. And I'm like, man, I can't go back. I can't go back to my unit failing. Hell no. But eventually I made it, and then he made it, of course. And I didn't leave until 2001. So it was right after September 11th. I was headed toward Fort Carson, Colorado, to the 4th Infantry Division, and that's when that was the division I went to go to Iraq. And then he was in 3rd Infantry Division, right, from Fort Stewart. And again, it's a small world, you know. And again, I mean, there was so much that's going on that I don't know, man. I can't say it was a coincidence, but it was just crazy how both friends were in the same area and didn't even know, you know. And I got to visit his grave. It took me till, well, he died in 2003, and it took me
Oh wow.
2018
Hmm.
to visit him.
You sent me that
And
picture.
and it was very emotional. I contacted his wife, and at first I was lost. Like, I was in the vicinity, I was in the cemetery, and she gave me these directions. I was like, why can't you just say 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, or whatever, right? And and anyways, it's like, it's right there, it's right next to this tree, and I'm like, yo, there's so many trees out here. Come on now, right? And so, anyways, finally, and I went with my compadre. Um, uh, hmm. Anyways, I found it. I found him, and as what my feelings is right now, I broke down, man, because I just wish I could have done more, you know. But then again, you know, that's part of war, man. There's always casualties, and I didn't understand it. And I had my platoon sergeant telling me, "Hey, man, it's part of the battle, man. It's what you do afterwards. You know what you're gonna do now. You know, and if you think about it, you know, and it was just not on him. We received casualties before, also, and everything else. But even like the second time around there and everything, um, you just start learning it, man. You don't really process it. You know, you just got to keep going. And it's the aftermath that you start processing it, and then, you know, if you don't talk about it or anything else like that, it's gonna get you. But and not only him, but like there's so many other soldiers that I served with that, like I said before in the opening, is that I owe a lot to them, you know. And you wouldn't believe, you know, the last person you would think of that will become a statistic, really, because after the President Bush decided to say that we won, you know, like, oh, we're victorious, and we're all thinking, hey, we're going home. We're going home. Oh, by the way, no, you're not going home. They are. And we'll be here for another year. Don't worry about it. Matter of fact, you know, get comfortable, you know. And of course, you know, the path went the way it is. Uh but if the family of Sergeant Crockett, if you guys are listening to us and everything else, and I'm definitely going to reach out, you know, I'm always going to say my condolences. And if they ever need anything,
Always.
they can always reach out. And his son is very successful, man.
Yes.
He is an adult, school, he's doing good things. And I know that if Michael's watching from above, that he'll be proud of his son.
Yeah, he definitely would be. You know, yeah, I mean, I've kind of follow have followed them throughout the years here and there. You know, and that's a big boy.
Oh yeah. Oh
He's
yeah.
a big boy, man. You know,
And I mean, and you know what? And the thing is that I wish, you know, I think they wanted me to stick around so I can meet him, and I just couldn't find it in my heart. Um, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, what do you say to a person? You know, hey, he lost his dad. You know what I mean? Like, what more could you say? And who knows? Maybe he's already moved on past it, and he was always going to remember him. But for me, I'm not past it. You know,
right?
Frank, you even said it yourself. You know, it's hard sometimes to talk about it. You know, and I don't know. It's just something that's gonna still us. But hey, that's why we know we're humans, right?
Yeah,
So
it's hard. It's hard to talk about it. You know, it's at least for me. I mean, to me, he was the closest individual that I know of. You know, that passed. You know, in the military, and for me, for a long time, it's hard to talk about. I mean, it's hard to talk about now. You know, it's you process it, you deal with it. You just don't like talking about it. You know, and I could tell you that I could sit here and like my uncle, off topic right quick. My uncle passed away about maybe 8 years ago. No, longer. But I'm able to talk about my uncle passing and everything or whatnot, you know. But when it came down to Crockett, I have a very hard time. I mean, We spoke about it before the show, Carlos. And I'm like, I have a hard time talking about this.
Yeah, I mean, if it was gonna happen, it was gonna happen, with you and Ovi. I wasn't gonna bring up the issue, but you guys, you spoke your stories, and that's tough to listen to. And those are things that I can only try to sympathize. I can't empathize. I was never in the service. So hearing these stories, just makes me appreciate servicemen even more. And it's those nitty gritty stories, those hardcore ones that you don't normally think about or hear about, or you imagine until someone actually drops some truth on an experience, and you're like, shit, wow. And so,
well, a lot of it, Carlos, is, and I think Ovi and I had this discussion off air on one of the shows once, and nobody really knows what impact you make on a person. And I'll tell you, and I've told Ovi off air on shows, and I'll say it now, when I met Ovi, my world was upside down. Okay, and Ovi laughs, and he knows it was upside down.
I think we both had our ups, our in some ways.
Frank was upside down.
He was in a worse situation.
I can't imagine it was worse.
Yeah, I mean,
Frank was in his worst situation when I first met him because he was going through a divorce, and then like them separating and his son and everything else. It crushed him a lot, man.
I bet.
And me as a junior leader at that time, I was like, yo, what can I do? And sometimes you just got to put work aside and you got to talk to him man to man. And that's something that was instilled in me growing up in the military. Like, we're soldiers, yes, but we're also human beings.
Yeah, you're human.
And you still got to treat your men with respect because they got to give you back. I mean, they don't have to. I'm just saying, like, if you give respect, you return respect. Okay. But when you're out there, you're going to depend on them, right?
Right.
So you're the driving force. You got to motivate them. You got to lead them. But at the same time, you can't burn them. You know what I mean? There's a ground, unless, they're doing something terrible. That's one thing. But, it was just meant to be that, Frank was in a situation. I was there, and no pun intended to the other leaders, but Frank and I was in the same platoon.
No.
But yeah, he would come to me, and I used to get that a lot, because I even did the same thing. Sometimes you click with someone, you could open up to somebody. It's not being that you're a coward or you're a piece of shit or anything like that. It just sometimes you connect with people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then sometimes there's always that person that will mentor you. Is like, look, if you want to succeed, this is the path that you need to go. And if Frank would have stayed in the military, he would have been very successful. But he had his choosing. He had a great choice. And it is, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Look,
right.
I'll tell you, one of my biggest things a lot was when I got out was adapting to civilian life. Okay, and
so
I think
you were kind of institutionalized.
I won't say institutionalized.
I mean, the military is an institution in itself, so you're kind of used to that lifestyle, and then when you get out to the real world, it's all
okay.
different.
All right, so let me stop you there.
Go ahead.
And you say, what is it that you just said? Constitutionalized or
institutionalized?
Yeah, whatever.
Institutionalized.
You make that shit all crazy and everything. Look, man. Do you know the difference between military and civilian life? I'll tell you. It's the brotherhood. It's the commodity. It's that safe zone that we have, right? We didn't get paid much.
Oh, hell no.
But we lived it up as we were, right? We was taken care of all the time. And we were taught about responsibilities. We were taught about a lot of things that a normal 18, 19-year-old would not understand yet. Okay? Me coming into service, I signed when I was 17 years old. By 19, I was a leader. Who could say that I had that responsibility to command a fire team and give them command, something that, someone like 50 or 60 years, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's strange, right?
Right.
But when you talk about responsibility, you talk about norms and values, right? You talk about accomplishing something. You have a goal, you know, and you do it out of so many other languages. You know, I'm trying to keep it as simple so that civilians do understand. We always have a goal. We're always looking ahead. You know, there's not a stop process. That mind keeps going over and over. You know what I mean? So, and thank you, Kimberly Chapman, for your comment. Thank you so much. But we're taught about responsibility. We taught about how to prepare ourselves and everything else, whether it's fixing your bed, fixing your uniform, you know, brushing your teeth, personal hygiene, everything else, every little gritty thing, right? Because you're supposed to know that when you're born and your parents raise you, right? But you'd be surprised how many people don't know how to do that until you get to the military, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're getting taught these things, and then like, all right, now I'm leaving. You know, if you're in trouble, if I'm in trouble, you know, I don't know. I get it. It's not stepping risk. I deal with my consequences, but it won't be that I'm going to get fired. It's impossible to get fired. You get fired is either one, you were doing drugs, you got a DUI, or you you committed a big crime that you got to go.
Discharge.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how bad, if you want to get out the army, that's where you go. Not AWOL, because you go AWOL, guess what? You're coming back. You're still going to do your time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in the civilian life, you know, you try to stand up for yourself. You think you could do this, and it's not that safe. And everyone's gunning for you. Now, don't get me wrong. There's always a competition about people want to be in certain positions, right? It's always like that everywhere. But you still got a job.
Yeah.
You're still getting paid. On the civilian side, nothing's ever guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed, man. You know, but let's say if I was civilian and Frank, he's having some issues. Look, man, I don't care about your issues. I need you to get your work done. And the military, you got some issues. Hey, bro, what's up, man? What's wrong with you? You need help? You need this? You need that? Don't worry. I don't have all the answers, but I could find resources that's going to help you. And I'm going to give that person that time. Go ahead, handle your business. We got it. We got it from here. We'll cover for you. You see what I'm saying? Can you do that in the civilian side? Very rarely.
Rarely, yeah.
No,
so now, Frank, you were in for how long?
I did 3 years.
And Ovi?
23 years.
You're a career man. Okay.
Listen, I could tell you one thing, and it must have been back in, 2011, maybe a little less or maybe a little more. Ovi was on the fence of getting out.
Mm.
And I remember I'm like, Ovi, you got 7-8 years left.
Oh, yeah, I remember that conversation.
I'm like, you're crazy if you get out. Stick around. It's going to go fast. Use your pension. You know, don't get out. Stay. You know, I mean, you've made it this far.
You're absolutely right. And I'm going to tell you right there, sometimes you do the job for so long that sometimes you get lost track, right? And then, you know, your mind starts wondering, like, yo, what was my purpose again?
What was I doing here?
Why am I doing it again? And then sometimes you got to hear from someone else like, dude,
yeah,
this is why you did this. Remember back then you told me this and told me, and there was Frank, you know, and then there was Hector as well. And there goes John. You know, I have a little tight circle that, you know, we have our extended family, you know, and listen, the internet is awesome. I'm telling you that right now. MySpace was the bomb, and that's how we got connected. And then Facebook came around. You know what I mean? This technology that started to create this big stuff, right? And we started communicating, and that's what was so good. It was like, hey man, Frank, what's up? You know, and again, it's like we always had each other's back, and that's something that we tell him. Look, I make fun of Frank all the time. Hey, Cuban this, Cuban that. And I get the response, hey, Puerto Rican this, Puerto Rican. You know, we got that bond. You know, we could do that. Nobody else can. So don't even try it. But anyways, but you know what I mean? And we stay in contact, and that was awesome. Even now, the guys that I served with, We have our Facebook page, right? From Fourth ID, and we still, we lost a guy last January, and I didn't even know his last name is Toro, and I didn't know, and that guy, I'm gonna tell you right now, he was in another platoon, but there are times that we used to cross paths, and we used to play chess, and he used to school me. I thought I was the king of chess until I played him. But anyway, long story short, he passed away January 19th of 2021, and nobody knew he was sick. Now I don't know what was the issues with the VA and everything else. I don't think he received proper help, but something happened. And I'm trying. I want to know what was going on. But the thing is that all of us came out of nowhere from my unit, and we're now starting to ask each other, "Hey man, how you doing? How you doing? You guys need anything? Yo, if you're sick, don't keep that shit to yourself. Let us know." You know what I mean? So, and it's very important. And I want to reach out to all the veterans out there that if you guys are listening in, or if you know a veteran that's listening, listen, I'm a member of the VFW. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you know a veteran that's not involved in the VFW in the local area, recommend him to do so. All right. Veterans are never alone. We are there where it's a nonprofit organization, and we have the resources. And it's just like you were being in the military. If we don't have the answers, we're going to find it for you. You're never alone, and that's one, stopping from people being suicidal. We're the front lines. We're attacking everything. You want to adjust yourself to the civilian life. We're here for you. And there's many programs out there. All right. And I say this because I don't want that particular veteran or even a soldier or whatever that feels like, hey, I have to be taking care of myself. I got to do this on my own. You don't have to, and it's sad that I have to find out like a week ago, okay, that a soldier in our unit passed away, and that's not right. Not right at all. So.
It's good to see that you've got so many things going on. I mean, I obviously had no idea. I will ask this though. When you joined OV, was your goal to be career, or it just I don't know how many people like go in, like I'm sure some do, but like I think the majority don't go like, yeah, I'm gonna be in the Army forever.
There are a few that they come from military families,
right.
So hey, my dad went, my grandfather went, my great grandfather, and then their great and then be like, yeah, that guy knew George Washington.
Yeah,
but no. I asked my parents. My parents did not want me to give me an answer. I got accepted to 2 universities, and I had this recruiter in college, and me right here.
Yeah.
What do I do? I said, Mom, Dad, what do I do? ¿Qué yo hago? And they were like, nope. You're a man. You're going to be a man. This is the point where you have to make decisions. And if I make decisions for you, you don't like it, then you're going to hate us. So you have to make your choices. And then I was like, okay. And I didn't know what to do. And I'm like thinking, well, I got to pay a lot of money for school.
True. Mm-hmm.
I got to fill all these paperwork. I got to fill all this for scholarships and this and that. But this recruiter said, I'm going to get paid. That sounds pretty good.
Right? Like a Puerto Rican. It was the money.
Was your recruiter Puerto Rican?
But you know what, though? At the beginning, the decision was, it was money. I was like, okay.
That's fine. I mean, actually,
I didn't get a bonus or nothing like that.
Yeah. There are many who do. There are many who do that for some assistance.
And then I said, you know what? I do 3 years, get out, go to college. I still handle my business, right?
That's the part I'm curious about.
So, check this out. You ready? So here I go, and they sent me to Korea. So my first term, I went in August 24th, 1995. I went to basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. Then I got stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, the first time. Then I got orders to go to Korea. So I go to Korea, and I'm like, damn, I try to get out of Korea, dude, by the way. I was like, Korea? I don't want to go to Korea. You know what I mean? Like, I want to stay in Fort Hood because the leadership, I was getting promoted fast. I was doing good things. There was, I had good things coming for me in this unit. And then it turned out that going to career was not so bad. I started having fun. I was still training, doing my thing. And when the opportunity came, it was like, hey, do you want to re-enlist? Hell yeah, I'm re-enlist. I'm gonna stay. I do 3 more years. Then another time I'll do more. And then I was getting promoted. And I was getting, after promotion, I was getting schools. And then, one thing led to another. And don't get me wrong, not everything was happy glory because things were going up and down too during that time. But there was a lot more good than bad, and I started liking it. I'm getting paid to play G.I. Joe at the time. And this is before the war started. I'm getting paid to play G.I. Joe. I'm gonna go out, get muddy. I go wipe my weapon down, clean it, put it away, get the training, get the knowledge of knowing how to battle. This is great. Yeah, and I might not like the rain or freezing my ass, pulling security, or doing some dumb shit. Or when I first came in, I'm a private, so I gotta mop the floor or like clean the toilet or something, like what I mean? All those things.
Red cycle detail.
Yeah, but it comes with the territory. You know what I mean? When you move up, you get more responsibilities, right?
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you right now that I even re-enlisted in Iraq. Okay, out of everything that was going on, I still re-enlisted in Iraq because that changed my attitude. I started now knowing the value of why you need to become a soldier. I started seeing the American way, the this, the that. You know what I mean? Before it was just money, party, doing all this crazy stuff, doing whatever, and then all of a sudden life changed. But when I say I was having a lot of fun, of course that comes with a lot of stuff in life that I had to experience.
Right.
And to be honest with you, the 20 years went by so fast that it was one moment when I went back to Korea for a deployment that I realized, why am I doing this? Why am I wearing this uniform? Why am I getting up early in the morning? Why the hell I'm doing it? And then I'm already late for meetings. I'm going in front of my soldiers, be like, all right, let's work out. And I'm like, not giving all my 100%. I can still run. I can still do this. I can still do that. I had knee surgery already, so I kind of slowed down. And Frank contested, man, I was one of the fastest dudes, but then in our unit, there was a lot of fast dudes. And there was a lot of soccer players. All right. And the fun stopped. You know what I mean? And, there was a lot of factors. I got remarried. I have 3 more kids. I got a total of four children. And then they would start popping in my head, and then it's like, why am I doing this again? Why am I with man? And then all of a sudden, the leadership changed. The Army is changing. It's all sensitive now. I can't do what? I can't do this. Why am I babysitting? They're men and women. They're over 18. Why? You know what I mean? They want to get in trouble. Let them get in trouble. Pay the consequences. I gotta live my life too.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, it's over. And now I get it. And people used to tell me, you're going to know when the time is up. And now, the Army's not for everybody. Military is not for everybody. And I respect even those that did 1, 2, 3 years or something. They had enough. It was like, no, I got something else going on in my life. I want to do that. And that's okay. You don't got to be a lifer. They call me a lifer because I did 20 plus years. But
that's career.
But I mean, if you got a plan, and that's the whole point, that not a lot of people have a plan when they get out. Yeah, it's nervous. It's nerve-wracking trying to prepare yourself to get out. But a lot of people don't have a plan. I already had a bachelor's degree. I already had certificates for IT training. I had everything there for me. The point was I was so nervous. Is what am I going to do with it? You know what I mean? And then when I come out here, I go rush to get a job. Bam, I got a job. And then I completed that job. I don't have a job anymore. And what am I doing?
It was like some IT company, right?
Yeah, I was doing some IT stuff, and then I decided, I'm going to go to Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and that's why I met Joe Aguirre, who is the owner of Clovercrest Media, the CMG Sports Network and CMG Podcast, And from there, everything launched. And then all of a sudden, I'm a school teacher. You know what I mean? So like everything's just falling into place.
That's good. That's good, man.
But you gotta have a plan, and a lot of soldiers don't get a plan. And like I told you, you asked that question. Why did I do so long? I was having a great time. But then that was it.
Yeah.
For others, ask them why you stay long. They're not gonna tell you the truth. All right? They're not. They're gonna be like, oh man, I don't know what other excuses, but I'm gonna tell you why. They're financially not stable. They didn't discipline themselves to prepare themselves. They didn't listen. And then when it was time, they're afraid to get out because they got nothing for them. So they want to stay back in. Right. And now they're disgruntled for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? And there are those people. And then you got those that are patriotic. And you got to respect that too.
Look, I'll tell you this. My story is a lot shorter than Ovi's. For sure. All right.
Your story's not shorter than mine. Come on.
Look, I went in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What month of 1996?
October.
October 1996.
I spent Halloween
Ooh.
in basic training. Okay. I left Miami October 30th.
Okay.
And I remember flying into Atlanta. But that was that. But either way, I went in. I'm not gonna say for the wrong reasons, but my story's a little different in the sense that I had met my oldest's mom, and my life was a mess. It was a royal mess. My life was just spiraling out of control. I didn't know where I was going, what I was doing. Look, let me tell you, this woman tells me, look, I'm not going to be with you. You got nothing going on. This is going nowhere. So this is going to end. And I was like, damn. But we ended. But we still hung out. And she was like, hey, I'm thinking of joining the military. She joined first. And I was like, so if I join and I get my life straight, we'll get back together and everything will be fine. She's like, yeah. I said, okay. So I joined.
Ovi's face.
Ovi's face is priceless. But I mean, look.
Man.
She was the leading factor.
People join for the wrong reason too.
She was the pushing factor of me joining because prior to, I had flirted around with the idea. When I graduated high school, I flirted around with the idea. I just wanted something else besides that. So I did start going to college. And then when I met her, I wasn't going to college anymore. So then when she was like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. I was like, hey, you know what? Bet, let's go. And whatever. She didn't make it through basic training. She got hurt, blah, 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 blah.
And there you are stranded.
No, because you know what? She came up with me once I got to my unit. She came up with me. I did my time. Had good moments. I made friends for life. And it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't complain about it. I had a hard time adjusting to civilian life. I went through jobs after I got out, trying to find myself, trying to find what I was going to do with myself. What do I like? What I don't like? Jobs were hard.
That's a combo because you left the military, so you were getting used to that system. And if my math is right, you were 25. Nobody at 25 really knows what they're doing yet. So you had all that.
Yeah,
I skipped that process.
you just said, I'm gonna keep going. I'm good.
Right.
But you know what, Frank, watch this. That is something that the military improved. And that's why they got especially in the Army, because I only can speak for the Army, is that they have this thing called Soldier for Life. And I don't know what that is, but okay. All right.
Frank has to answer to that.
Yeah. Hey, that's some personal shit there. But no. So carry on him.
I just saw a comment. No, buddy.
I can't even continue no more, man. Put that comment back up. I want to read that again. I
right,
thought
Frank.
she couldn't finish because she was pregnant.
Lay it on us, Frank. This will be.
My son. No. She got pregnant. Think about it. Okay, I went in. I finished basic training in March of '97. My son was born June of '98. I'm sorry, April of '98.
Oh my God, the whole Easter.
No, yeah. So, she got pregnant after I got to my unit. She just got hurt. Is what happened to her.
That's his story, and he's sticking to it.
Yep. Yo, I'll be laughing if another window pops up on this show.
And it's his mom, right?
Actually,
you will have a debate and be like, "Yo, you know what? I'm out.
I'm getting the popcorn.
Carlito, I'll see you later. I'm gonna enjoy. I'm gonna go like this too.
Be like,
You're gonna get your popcorn and start eating it, right?
Oh, yo, Danny's laughing. So Danny's your oldest, right? That was who I met when I went to Miami, and he met my oldest son.
Correct.
Sammy.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, it's nice to see you again, Danny. I hope you're doing all right. So, but no, and that's the thing, Frank, is that the way you went out of the military, the Army decided, you know what, you're not doing that no more. Now what they have is a Soldier for Life, which is a program that prepares for anyone that decides to get out. Okay, whether you're retiring or you just want to finish your contract. Now you go, they'll offer you schools. There's on-the-job training. So there's a lot of programs out there, and that soldiers got to start that at least 12 months before they get out. And the commanders have to support their soldiers. There are some that try to be sneaky and say, "Now we still need you to do some training and stuff like that." But, if there's colleges or anything else set up, and I had this soldier who he had a plan, right? I was at Fort Benning, Georgia. He had a plan. He says, "Sarge, the only way I get this job is I have to fly over there and do a test." And there was 2 times he had to fly, right? And then the other one was they had to do your analysis test and everything else, just to see, that make sure he doesn't do drugs and everything else. I said, dude, if that's what you want to do, go right ahead. No problem. I'll support you all the way. You got a plan. You say you're getting out, you're getting out. And even if he decided he wanted to stay in, it wasn't a waste of time, because sometimes in the last minute things change and be like, yo, I need to stay in. But no, he was very successful. As a matter of fact, I think he's about to get married, and he's a carpenter or some stuff. Like, he got his own business, remodifying homes and everything else. So, but there's a lot of problems. You want to be a truck driver? You want to do this? You want to do that? They got it for you, man. So cool. A lot of improvement. And it sucks, Frank. It sucks that how you got out. And you're right. At the age of, in your early 20s, you don't really know what you want to do, No. And, it's like you get your discharge paper. All right, see you. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
And then if you get out the way you came in, you really got nothing to show for.
I can tell you, I had nothing to show for it. People were always like, "Oh, so what'd you do in the military?" And I just tell people I was infantry. I go, "What do you think I did in the military? What do you think I learned in the military?" And
Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
You know how to mop. You know how to spit shine floors.
I can spit shine a pair of boots.
You know how to edge the grass.
Right. But hey, look, you know what, Ovi, I thank you for coming on.
Man, thank you very much.
Thank you guys, man.
And we gotta figure out a show one day to
reminisce.
Oh yeah, man. Can you imagine?
No, that's when me and you get together face to face and we pop a cold one, man. That's all.
Oh, definitely.
A cold one, right?
Hey, hey, you don't know. Now, hey guys, thank you very much, and I hope I didn't like take over the show or anything like that.
No, man.
No,
but
actually.
But this weekend it's gonna be very emotional. Like I said, I'm gonna do some stuff Sunday morning with the VFW, for a tribute, and I know I'm gonna hear a lot of taps. But when I hear them taps played, I'm gonna remember those that I remember that sacrificed their lives out there, not only in Iraq but also in Afghanistan. And I'll be surrounded with other veterans, and they're gonna share their stories, and we're just gonna comfort one another. And this is the day to remember why I'm still here in the United States, and remember why we still have our freedom. And with everything that's going on around the world, especially in our own home, in our nation, I just hope that somehow people will realize, hey, let's wake up and let's start being the country that we're supposed to be. So, and for everyone that's listening, to other one, for those veterans out there, those that are serving right now, thank you. Continue the fight. Continue doing what you're doing, and we're going to support you. It's my turn to support you guys. So,
definitely.
Frank, Carlos, thank you, and I'm definitely supporting your show. I'm sharing it up, and I hope you still like that introduction, man.
Yeah,
definitely. Yes.
Thanks for coming, man.
All right, man. Y'all take care. You have a good night.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later, Obi.
All right, man.
Obi, what? But anyways, hey, look, guys. Again, Sketchy Peasant had a good comment as I was talking. I saw it, but hey, Frank, thank you for your service, and everyone else who has served, who have and are serving. Definitely, Sketchy Peasant, thank you. Too bad you got in late, because we had a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, no.
Actually, we really only spoke 2 topics, and actually half of one.
No, but listen, as the civilian in the show, it's always, I don't want to say good, because I mean the information is sad, but it just brings an aspect to the experience that I will never know, and and it helps me understand even more. So it's crucial. It's crucial, and it was very informative just to hear real stories and not stories about procedure and all that stuff, and real events, how people affected you, how they still affect you. That stuff's real, and just hearing that kind of reality is sobering to civilians like myself. So,
right. I mean, look, I'll tell you,
it was good.
Obi said it right. We formed a brotherhood, and I could tell you that there out of the people that left Miami with me, okay, to go to basic training, we were 5. 2 of them were like this. Okay, the other 3 we talk every now and then, but 2 of them were really, really close. I was the best man at his wedding, and we left to basic training together. And I wouldn't change that for the world. What
right
friends that I made out there are just instant family. Whether I talk to them every day, whether I talk to them every month, whether they ignore me, whether we're on different sides of the spectrum politically, okay, religion-wise, we still communicate. Hey, what's up? How are you? How's But hey, look, again, guys, thank you, everyone that commented. Kimberly, thank you for coming on. Ovi, thank you very much. On this show, we advocate truthfulness, accuracy, and honesty, and the reasons as essential to the integrity of communication. All right? But
absolutely.
With that being said, you
too, Sketchy.
Yes. Memorial Day weekend, our veterans need more assistance. Yes, they do. Definitely. They definitely do. Like, with that being said, you might not agree with what we're speaking. You might agree with what we're speaking. But the one thing you know is that here on Speaking It Real, we always keep it real. Have a safe Memorial Day, guys.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you. Hello.
Happy Friday, everybody.